Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video. Now today we're gonna be reviewing the update that's going live the 24th of August. Now before we get into this, leave a like if you found this informative in any way. Comment any suggestions, any video ideas you want me to make. Subscribe if you're new here, and let's get right into this. Now first up today, the Royal Giant is receiving a hit speed decrease to 1.7 seconds from 1.5. That's a 0.2 second decrease. I think it deserved like more of a nerf than that, but let's see how that plays out in the actual battles. Next up we got the Zap, which is receiving a huge nerf. It's literally getting half its stun duration taken away. From 1 second to 0.5 seconds, the Zap may not be used that much. Next up we have the Princess with the area damage decrease radius by 25%. Now you guys know how much the Princess hits in one shot. It has a huge radius of area damage, and I think this nerf is well deserved. Next up, the Ice Wizard is a very commonly used card. His hit points decreased by 5%. Now, an expected nerf to the Miner with the deploy time going from 0.7 seconds to 1 second, so that's plus 3 seconds, and his hit points decreased by 6 seconds. Next up is the Baby Dragon, getting his hit speed increased to 1.6 seconds from 1.8 seconds. That's minus 0.2. Now the Dark Prince is getting a damage increase of 7.5%, which the Dark Prince is a pretty tricky card. He can be used in any deck, but he's very useful when he plays out alright on the battlefield. Now the Lumberjack receiving a huge buff and a nerf at the same time, but I think all round it's a buff. With his hits, with his speed increased to very fast from fast, which makes sense actually. He's drinking a bottle of rage. And his hit speed increased to 0.7 seconds from 1.1, again makes sense, but his damage decreased by 23%, so the rage coming into play in this one. Now the Log has a cast time decreased by 66%, so it's gonna be a lot faster traveling down the lane, and the travel speed increased by 20%. Now the Golem receiving a hit and death damage increased by 5%, hit points increased by 1%. Now I don't really think that would make much of a change. I don't really know why they're implementing this into the game, but it's their game, they do whatever they want with it. And the Golemites receiving hit and death damage increased by 8%, and their hit points increased by 3.2%. Now the P.E.K.K.A. is receiving a damage increase by 5%. Now, I think it should be more. If you take a look at the stats of the mini P.E.K.K.A. and the P.E.K.K.A., they do very similar damage, and I think there should be a higher gap between the damage of the mini P.E.K.K.A. and the normal P.E.K.K.A. And then the Tombstone is receiving a spawn speed increase, minus 0.4 seconds. So it's gonna be spawning skeletons at the rate of 2.5 seconds instead of 2.9 seconds. Next up is the Prince, which is receiving a damage increase by 2%, and finally the Archers are receiving a damage increase again by 2%. Now I think this is a change for the good. A couple of things need to be tweaked a little bit. I think the Zap had a very harsh nerf, and the Royal Giant needs a little bit more of a nerf. And yeah, that has been it. I think this is a good change to the game, and more to come on later. Leave a like if you enjoyed, comment any suggestions, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys next time.